Welcome to Teaching Tuesdays here at Christie's Flowers and Gifts, Naples. Today we're going to look at roses and the different types, a few different types of roses and why they are the way they are. So this rose is the queen of all rose. It's called a garden rose. It is highly fragrant, absolutely exquisite. You can look into the internal area of it. It almost looks like a peony when it's fully opened. Okay, so we have that rose, and then we have a large head regular rose, unscented. Sometimes the regular roses are slightly fragrant, but you will always find a lot of the garden roses to be much more fragrant, and they're most exquisite roses, highly used and recommended for weddings and other events as well. Or if someone loves it for their home and they like fragrance and they need to just add a few of these garden roses in an arrangement, it's amazing. They tend to be more expensive. This rose costs 3 times the price of this rose, and there is a reason. Another bit about the fragrance of roses, since we're discussing fragrant and non-fragrant, the fragrance of the rose, the energy goes into the fragrant. The petals of the garden roses tend to be a lot thinner. You can see how delicate these petals are. Whereas if you look at the petals on this yellow rose, it's thicker. It's a thicker petal. This particular one has no fragrance. So this rose will last longer than this rose, but what you're getting is an amazing fragrant rose. It's not going to last as long, but it's amazing while it lasts. So roses, again, and another thing I wanted to touch base with is to let you know that roses are not all created equal. Sometimes we'll get clients come and say, well, my roses, is that rose old? No, it's not. Some roses open more quickly than others. It doesn't mean it's an old rose. It doesn't mean that it's going to last it's still going to last just as long. It's just that the character of certain roses, they like to show their faces more quickly than others, and it's perfectly fine. I personally like to see a rose opening this much to let me know that this rose will continue to open. Sometimes you'll get roses and they're so tight that they never fully open. We've had a few instances of that happening, not many, but it does happen from time to time. So when you go to your local florist, make sure you get roses that has a little bit of a face to it. We call this a face. It's showing that it's going to fully open for you. Don't panic, don't be scared, it's okay. I would rather have a rose this way than have a very tight rose, and then when I get it home after 3 days, it just starts sleeping, okay, and never open. This rose is a beautiful, delicate rose. We call these spray roses. They're delicate, they're very, very small heads, and they tend to come sometimes just 3 bloom to a stem, sometimes 5, 6, or even 7 sometimes. This is a lavender rose, and it's a spray rose. So you can ask your florist for a spray rose. You have a standard rose, and you have your garden queen of all the rose family. Okay, so feel free to order your roses. We know you guys out there love a lot of roses, and here you go. It's a little bit of information on roses. Now, another thing about roses, when you get them home, it's really important for you to cut your stems at an angle, a sharp angle, every 3 days. Change your water. That's another segment, but we will get into that another time. But roses in particular, please cut your stems every 3 days. Add new water, clean water, clean vase, and your food. And if you run out of the little packet that you get from your florist, you can use a teaspoon of granulated sugar and just a dropper of bleach. And what that does, it inhibits the bacteria growth in your water and helps your flowers to live longer, especially your roses. They need that. So go ahead and help them And that by so doing, you will continue to enjoy your roses. Sometimes for up to 2 weeks. We've had customers who said, oh my goodness, my roses last me 2 weeks. Why? Because I followed the instructions. So there you have it. Thank you for watching.